All right, into the main event of the evening. Big matchup. And of course, joining me in the commentary booth, we're in his home turf, Mr. Elvis Sinisic. We were talking about some firsts before. I believe you're probably also the first Australian to commentate on the UFC as well, right?
That is correct, yeah. Back in the day, UFC 33, I believe it was.
Yeah, I watched it. Don't worry about that. So the reason he's stepping in is because Mr. Luke Martin, of course, is in the corner of Izaak Michell. And Elvis, what do you make of this matchup?
Look, it's a great matchup, you know. It's size versus skill. I mean, but both of them are very skilled, obviously. The Kimura versus the leg lock. I'm really excited to see this matchup.
Yeah. So, of course, we've got Izaak training out of Sydney West Martial Arts now, but, of course, he spent a lot of time over in New York in the Blue Basement, training with John Danaher, training with Gordon Ryan, training a lot with Craig Jones. You see him as the UK on some of the Craig Jones instructionals and touring around doing seminars with him. So he's no stranger to that high level of jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, his game is very much focused on the leg lock, but also the back attack. So expect to see him try and take the back. Obviously, coming up against a bigger opponent, it's one of the most preferred positions we can get into.
Definitely. And of course, coming up against big Harry Kimura. I mean, now Harry is a brown belt. He's actually the first person to be graded under Josh Barnett, UFC legend, catch wrestler. Yes. And of course, you know, it's been hard for Izaak to get a match out here because he is very intimidating, this young kid. But Harry stepped up to the plate, and he certainly got a lot of advantages that he can use in his favour as well.
It's also in his name, you know. We know what he's really good at. If he gets a hold of that double wrist lock, he gets that Kimura grip, you know, Izaak's going to be in a lot of trouble. So we're going to see Harry looking for that. Izaak defending, trying to get in underneath and invert, and that'll make it an exciting match.
Yeah, so, I mean, Harry now training out of kick, punch, submit. He's got that double wrist lock. He's got the Kessa crush. These are big moves that have stopped a lot of people on the local scene. And Izaak's going to have to be very careful.
Well, yeah, he's been around for both guys have been around for a while, but Harry really has been around. You know, he's not afraid to put it out there. It was just on the last Subversion, putting it on the line and constantly competing. And as we know, and same with Izaak, the more you compete, the better you get.
That's it, and I think we're going to see a great match right ahead of us. Elvis, what do you reckon?
I think it's really time to get going.
Let's do it. Okay, so it's going to be 15 minutes on the clock for this one, ready? So plenty of time for those guys to work.
Let's go,
we call this our David versus Goliath match?
Could be. I mean,
got to touch.
Well, Izaak pulling to guard straight away, but you have to establish a grip.
Yeah, it's the IBJJF concept, not your usual submission grappling rules. You've got to make contact before you can sit to guard.
Yeah. So now, I mean, you know, Harry will look to snatch up that double wrist lock from anywhere, but Izaak straight up onto a front headlock.
Izaak being very aggressive early, looking for the neck. I mean, it's a classic Danaher. If they defend the legs and you go for the upper body. Harry there trying to establish control. Izaak being smart, getting control of one hand. If you can get control of that one hand, he can't sit into that double wrist lock or Kimura grip.
Yeah, you'd have to imagine Izaak would have been focusing a lot on defending that move.
And Harry's very good at getting it from all sorts of positions, from butterfly guard. He's very good at rolling over. If you take his back, he'll look to sit his hips out and switch over to the other side. So he's always dangerous. But smart strategy so far by Izaak, keeping him busy, pushing him, getting that double wrist so he's not able to set his grips.
Yeah, now just a little battle of collar ties and wrist fighting going on here. And Izaak just looking to explode, it seems. Just really got to try and...
Well, it's that speed versus strength, you know. If Harry gets a grip, whereas Isaac's got to get there first.
Yeah. And now Harry controlling the right foot of Izaak, posting off him.
Yeah, the first part of the match, you know, is very important. It's hand fighting. Who's going to be able to get to that dominant control first?
Yeah, I wonder if, you know, is Izaak going to be looking to elevate Harry, try and get into the legs, but it's going to be hard when he's down there on both his knees, such a bigger opponent.
Well, as I said before, it's that traditional Danaher strategy. He's going to look to get underneath him, and if Harry stays heavy, he will look to jump on the neck as well. Had a bit of a chat to him before, and he's kind of looking at obviously attacking the legs. It's an obvious thing, but he would, if he gets the opportunity, expect to see maybe arm drag or 2-on-1 or try and take the back.
Yeah, so Izaak there just maybe showing his hand. Yes, coming up.
There you go, trying to come underneath.
Oh, Harry, he's got it locked up. Here we go.
He's got the grip. Now what's Izaak?
So he's in the half guard, but Harry's got the double wrist lock cinched up. This is what he wants. But it's a long way yet to finish.
And he's patient here. He knows what he needs to do. Isaac's doing a good job of locking his legs in. It's because Harry needs to get his hips out to be able to get to a nice strong position. So Izaak is trying to slow him down a little bit, probably looking to grip fight, I would be guessing, joining his hands underneath Harry's body. Yep.
This looks like what Harry's trying to break that grip. He's let go of the double wrist lock, now just got the single wrist control. And was, maybe trying to break that grip. Yeah,
he would have brought his hand in underneath, try and join his hand. So, because what Harry obviously needs to do is separate that hand from the body to be able to attack the elbow. Izaak has his left hand grabbing his right hand and he's squeezing the legs to try and prevent it. And there you go. As I mentioned before, Harry needs to get his hips out, so he lets go, but he gives up the grip in that process. It was the battle between keeping the grip or getting your hips free, and he chose the hips and he ended up losing that grip.
And that's got to be a good confidence booster for Izaak, knowing that was a big play there from Harry. It's in his name, being able to escape, take things back to neutral.
Now back to the hand fighting. Now Izaak will have a good idea of what he's going to be going. He's prepared, but again, you can't underestimate him. Just because you got out of it once, you can't let him get to nice little push kick. I did that a few years ago in an ADCC trials and got DQ'd.
I think I was there for that one. And they're off the
back
mat.
to centre, please.
Now that's Harry will kind of bait people to come in to try and get that underhook. He will happily give up an underhook on people just to snatch up the Kimura.
Yeah, he's trying to move Harry's upper body. So what he can do, if Harry goes with the kick, he loses connection. But what you'll see Harry do is he'll start to resist, and as he pushes his weight into the kick, it's going to allow him his hips to come up and Izaak to come in underneath. So look to push him more, and maybe look to see Izaak try and come in underneath, maybe invert.
Now Harry just controlling the shins. He's pinning that bottom leg, but
he's really focused on getting the grip rather than focusing too much on getting the guard pass. I think he just wants to get that double wrist lock.
Yeah, he's happy to just get that control while he's sitting back in the guard and not really worrying about getting past the legs first. He'll just dive on it.
It's good to see both guys being very patient, sticking to their games, trying to put pressure on the other person to make a mistake. And that's what it'll come down to at this level. You've got to try and make your opponent make a mistake so you can capitalise on it.
And there we go. Another diving double wrist lock there from Harry Kimura. And it looks like he's got
his hands joined. Oh, no, he hasn't. He didn't. He's grabbing himself. He's trying to look to trap the legs like he did before.
So we're in a similar position before, but both legs are in.
And now he's got his hand back in, I think. Yeah, he's got his left hand grabbing his right to try and protect it. He's trapping the legs to try and stop the hips from escaping. And he's using that strategy to prevent Harry separating his arm from his body. But Harry's strong, you can see him there really putting a lot of effort. He's starting to...
Yeah, he's really just trying to strengthen it out. And I mean, you can look to kind of use that grip to get the knees through, past the guard and move into T Kimura or Kimura trap kind of position where you're over the head of the opponent. But I don't think Harry looks to do that. He just wants the arm. He just wants the arm.
As I said before, at the moment it's that battle for the hips or the grip. And he's trying to get his hips out, but he's also starting to lose that grip a little bit. Yeah,
and there, Izaak out again.
So yeah, a big part of Harry's Kimura grip is he needs to get his hips free so he has the leverage to separate the arm from the body. And it seems Isaac's really taken note of that.
Oh, yeah.
And he's keep getting, every time his arm gets trapped, he's shutting the hips down, joining his arms to protect it and not giving him the leverage to separate the arm from the body.
We're back into the grip fight. It still seems Harry will be happy to go for it again. It seems
He'll keep working. It's his game, his strategy. He's not going to get frustrated and stop doing it, because getting it lets him know he can get it. So, and he knows what he needs to do. He needs to separate, and each time he gets a little bit closer, and if he can keep working, he might end up picking that up. And again, playing open guard, Izaak on the bottom, just trying to kind of move around, try and make Harry make a mistake, not letting Harry getting 2 grips on one hand. That's the main thing he's doing here.
And so, something to take into account too is, those submission attempts are going to be looked upon favourably by the judges if this thing does go to the time limit. So, wonder, is Izaak going to institute as a, plan B, second kind of a strategy shift here to maybe, tilt things in his favour? Because at this stage, it just seems that this grip fight's just taking place in the same spot.
Yeah, if I were Izaak or Isaac's coach, I'd maybe start looking at trying to sweep or reverse, try and use that sweep to create that space rather than looking to get the attack. Maybe start getting offensive with trying to reverse the position, and then in the scramble pick up a leg or take the back.
But of course, it's hard. This is where the size difference comes into play, to sweep a bigger man like that when he's down on his knees.
Well, you don't need to actually reverse him. You just need to move his weight so he doesn't want to get reversed. And hopefully, if he can transfer some weight to his upper body, it makes his lower body easier to access. But of course, Harry is not unaware of the leg attacks. He's very well versed in it. Some of his previous training partners have been very skilled at the leg lock, so that's why he's got this strategy. He knows he's sitting on his heels, he's keeping them safe while he's looking for that Kimura grip.
Yeah, actually picked up a win via heel hook over Robert Whittaker at the Japan ADCC trials, and of course, Izaak probably not too keen to get up and start wrestling.
No,
with Harry,
it wouldn't be smart. It wouldn't be a smart strategy anyway. It's just going to waste energy.
So here, Izaak 2-on-1.
Getting the shin across, so he's trying to separate Harry's arms. He's using that shin to get over one arm. So when he does that, it gets him into a kind of a Z guard position, but it also takes an arm out of Harry's arsenal.
And Harry just shoving Izaak back down, getting a bit physical. Izaak pummeling his leg around Harry's hand.
And notice how Izaak's using his bottom leg just to maintain the distance, because that's part of what Harry needs. We have to get a good double wrist lock or Kimura grip. He needs to come forward. He needs to get chest-to-chest kind of pressure. He needs to get in close. And Izaak's always using one leg to kind of maintain that distance. If he loses one, he goes to the other one. There again, controlling the hips.
Yeah, here we are.
Fighting for that. Izaak's fighting for that second grip, getting his hand back in. And then there's that battle. Is he going to get the hips out so he can separate, or is Izaak going to get his arm free?
Is it going to be third time's a charm? We'll see. But, Isaac's done well getting out of here before.
Those hips are... he's a big boy. The hips are actually a little bit further out. Each time he's getting a little bit close. I think he's starting to lose it now. So now is he going to bail? Yeah, there he is. He's trying to fight that second grip. If he can break that second hand...
and having to let go of one hand and just go to the single wrist control it's not a good sign that you're...
Oh, there's trying to reverse, didn't get it. It was a good job of, again, controlling his hips, making Harry either choose between the wrist grip or the hips, and when you can't get both of them, it's limiting his ability to finish that Kimura. 4 minutes to go. It's been an exciting match so far. Both guys have put it on. Harry obviously with the aggression and the sub attacks, but Izaak always staying busy, always trying to break his posture, trying to look for that. It's that difficult. You're the smaller guy underneath a bigger guy. He's constantly moving and attacking. Let's see if David can take Goliath, or whether Goliath is going to take it away today.
Yeah, well, Harry he's waiting his time, and then he just explodes.
Yeah, he's very good. He knows what he looks for. He looks for once he secures one grip, he knows how to dive onto it to secure that second hand.
Yeah, Izaak back to his feet. He knows he's got to do something. Faked a shot, got a bit of a reaction out of Harry.
Yeah, I think he's trying to see whether he looks to
Yeah,
slide in
yeah.
or invert or...
Trying to just create something.
Well, he's got to at this stage, he's down on submission
Here we go.
attempts.
Oh,
Stop there, fellas.
Mats.
Back in the centre, same position. Harry seated.
Again, nice attempt.
Into the centre, let's go.
Harry dove on it. The
Yeah.
momentum helped Izaak
Harry,
reverse
you
it, and he almost got back on top. But
Yeah, I
we
think
went off the mat.
they're going to start Harry
Sit.
seated and Izaak
Thank
on
you.
top.
Let's go.
Yeah, not enough time, It was smart, Harry was going to get up. Oh, armbar.
He's got
Oh,
in.
that's deep.
This is a good position for Izaak. He's got the
He's
arm.
got to fight the grip.
Oh, but Harry's got the second
yeah.
arm in, pushing it down.
Stop there,
pulls it
guys.
out.
Back to the centre.
Boom.
Same position.
Almost takes
Izaak on
a
your back.
sliding
Harry over
submission.
on your knees.
Isaac's keen to keep going.
Yeah.
2.5 minutes.
Yeah, you can
Let's
tell
go.
he knows he's got
2:43.
to put the
Yeah.
pace on now.
Now he's starting to get I think he's kind of was cruising the first couple
Yes.
of minutes, make Harry work a little bit,
Yeah.
now put the pressure on and see what Harry has.
Yeah.
And that's a smart move for the smaller guy fighting the bigger guy. As the match goes on, the bigger guy is going to be more tired just because of the extra size he's carrying. And obviously Harry was really working to try and break those grips.
Oh, yeah. That's it. Back to their feet.
So look for the head snap, come underneath, there we go. He looks for the guillotine, the head comes up, he slides underneath to attack. There's that armbar attempt again. Now working the wrist control, sliding in, getting the feet in, pushing them away, try and get him to react. And see, as soon as he pushed in, use that momentum coming forward, working for a triangle here.
Izaak getting after it. Going for that
Armbar
again.
again.
Invert.
Really moving his hips well at the
Yeah,
moment.
here we go. He's coming in on the legs. K-guard. He's starting. This is where he wants to be.
Yep.
Oh,
Stop there.
oof.
Back to the centre, please.
Let's see.
Harry on your back.
Restart.
Izaak standing.
1:40 on the clock.
There's not much
Izaak
time. Isaac's, he's putting the pressure on.
Finally
back
He
here,
really
please.
wants it here.
got where he wanted to be.
Is it going to be enough?
Oh, that's in here.
Can he make the most of it and get to a
Let's go,
submission?
fellas.
Or get enough sub attempts to take away all that dominant Kimuras Harry had early on.
Harry back up to his feet.
Again, so strong and heavy, he just pushes Izaak off. Again, trying to invert, trying to get that armbar. Really good at moving those hips. Triangle.
Oh, Harry, another
back. There's
attempt,
the
but that's the back for Izaak.
That was very good. He read that one. As soon as he dived for that Kimura, he went for the back. But again, as I mentioned before, he's very good at... Well, got the potential for a...
Calf slicer?
Calf slicer? I don't think so.
I doubt he'd be looking for that.
No, it doesn't quite have the right control at the moment. But he might use that to kind of reverse Harry and take the back. Yep.
Yeah, there we go. This is 1 minute on the clock.
He's got to really start
Could
working
go down to the
here.
wire. Harry knows he's just got to defend. Izaak got to breach those defences. Oh, punching it through. Second hook in. Now this is where...
This is the hand fighting. And this is one thing the Danaher guys are very good at fighting the grips, looking for the neck. He's got the double unders, which is better for control, less submission attempts. He's trying to get to the... There's the over-under. Trying to clear Harry's grip. There he's fighting.
30 seconds left. This is down to the wire.
And this 30 seconds at this level to get a choke is going to be hard, but man, he is putting
He's
the
putting the
pressure
pace on.
Yeah, nice.
Beautiful work. Harry out. Oh, almost gives it up again. Oh, jeez.
Man,
Wow. 10 seconds left on the clock. They're getting after it.
man, they both want this bad.
Oof.
Stop there,
Oh.
fellas. Well done.
Man, that's a tough one to call there.
Tough one to call, Elvis. Tough one to call.
I think Harry had more control time through the match. A couple
Yeah.
of the Kimura attempts, but that last...
Three,
Well, really,
3 minutes, 4 minutes?
2.5
Oh,
minutes.
2.5 especially. Like,
Was
Izaak
just
put it
Izaak
on.
was on, put it on, but is that enough throughout the whole match to take the decision? It'd be interesting to see how the judges and referees see this.
See how it goes. Ooh, we've got
It's Izaak.
Izaak.
Split.
Split decision. There we go.
Yeah, super tight. He could have given it to either guy.